Hello everyone and welcome to this new video where we will see together the incredible story of the Buddhist monk's mummy. It was in 1927 in a monastery in Siberia that a Buddhist monk would have communicated his last wishes to his colleagues. Before he died, he reportedly explained that he wanted his body to be exhumed in 2002. About 75 years later, the confreres of this monk will then respect these instructions to the letter, and 75 years later, in 2002, his confreres will go in search of the monk's grave, and after a long day of walking, they will finally find the grave. Without further delay, they will hasten to open it, and at the time of opening the tomb, the monks will make an incredible discovery when they have opened the lid of the tomb. They will discover that the monk's head has been covered with a shroud of self, and when you remove this shroud, the top of the skull is very bright, like that of a living man or a person who would have died a very short time ago. Stranger still, they will examine the body and even say that it is not dehydrated. The entire body is almost intact and there are very few signs of decomposition. But for monks, it is not. The most incredible thing to them is that he was found in the same position as when he died, namely the lotus position. 75 years after his death, the monk still seemed to be alive. And quickly, the news will cross borders to go around the world. There will be plenty of scientists and researchers who will then start to study this mummy to try to understand and discover its secret. And thanks to their research, they will succeed in understanding that during his lifetime, the way to practice Tibetan medicine, many believe he would have discovered an ancient process that stopped putrefaction. However, a little overwhelmed by the phenomenon, doctors will attempt different examinations to find a slightly more rational explanation. They will examine the surface of his body, and to them, it is not really a mummy because when you press on his skin, it would still have some flexibility. And there wouldn't really be decomposition. Moreover, unlike the mummies that are generally found entirely bandaged, this mummy had only a lane on the head, which is very different. And unlike most mummies, the most impressive thing is that his muscles haven't even stiffened and you could still move his limbs as if he were alive. And despite the research that has been carried out on this mummy, we are unable to give rational explanations on the state of conservation of this body. There will be legends that will then emerge, and some claim that the monk would have managed to make a secret elixir which would have allowed him to ensure eternity to his body. For others, this place would simply be where he was buried, suitable for body preservation. For Buddhists, he is not dead but in meditation on his way to nirvana. Is it imagination, a spiritual force, or a natural exception? Reflect and decide. That's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment if you did and share subjects you'd like in my next videos. Interested in legends or mummies? Check my other episodes. Like, share and subscribe. See you in the next video.